Hello everybody, my name is Alcraft and welcome back to another episode on the channel. So, what's going on? So I was planning on originally working on a storage system because I don't feel like developing a chest monster. If you don't know what a chest monster is, it is basically where you have just a bunch of chests and it's like completely unorganized. And from the looks of what's inside this chest, it seems like we're already starting to build one. However, there are some materials for the storage system that we are going to be building that involve going to the Nether. So we're going to be going to the Nether this episode. After having that portal open for how many episodes? Like 4 at least? Like 3 or 4. It's finally time to go to the Nether this episode. So what you're going to need is, in my inventory right now, you're going to need a pickaxe, a bow. Some arrows would be good, but since I have an infinity bow, I only need to bring one. Some blocks doesn't have to be stone. It can be any block. It can be cobblestone or dirt or whatever. Stack of torches. Some more obsidian in case you want to build another portal. Some food and a flint and steel. I'm not sure if I've already said that, but it's also important. Some armor and a shield. So now we are going to head into the Nether. And since I've had the Nether portal open, we have some mobs that have gotten through the Nether portal as well. So this is the Nether. It's completely pretty much made out of this stuff. It's called Netherrack. And Netherrack actually has a really cool feature where if you set it on fire, it will actually never stop burning, which is a cool feature. See, it'll just by the end of the episode we'll check to see if that's still burning. It might not, because it might go outside of the loaded chunks. Another thing that this place is also filled with is this stuff's called soul sand. Now soul sand is mined with a shovel. I probably should have brought one. But it's made to, it has a couple of different functions. First off, you can make bubble columns with them, so that's cool. It's basically like a way where it's kind of like a water elevator. And another thing that you can do is by farming nether wart. We do not have that yet. That's something we'll actually find in the Nether though, so that's another use. And also, there's a lot of lava in the Nether, which is why it's so like scary to adventure in the Nether. It also has like these really big like caves and stuff. And also, soul sand has a really weird feature where it slows you down whenever you walk on it. So I'm walking normally right now. When I go on the soul sand, it's pretty slow, and it doesn't only work on players, it also works on mobs and stuff like that. And also there's this ore that's also in the Nether, and this can be mined with any tool. It can be not any tool, it can be mined with any kind of pickaxe. We get nether quart ore if you have a silk touch, but if you have, oh god, jeez. Another quartz can be mined with any pickaxe. And also, that was a ghast. So ghast are basically like fireball throwing birds, and they can detect you from like 100 blocks away, and you can actually deflect their fireballs. If I can, come on, see me. Alright, so it's not interested right now. Oh, there it is. What do you do? I'm clearly here. Oh. Alright, so whatever. So there's actually a structure here that we are looking for, and I've actually have found one. They're called Nether fortresses, which is pretty cool. You could find all sorts of resources there, and there's actually some new mobs. So I'm actually going to get to that. And there it is right there. That is the Nether Fortress. As you can see, there are some mobs down there. Those are blazes. They're kind of like Ghast, except they still throw fireballs, but they also, I mean, they're basically just like Ghasts. They throw fireballs and stuff like that. So they're not exactly friendly. And also, the Nether Fortress is completely constructed out of this stuff called nether brick. Now, nether brick can actually be made. It doesn't have to just be. Oh, look, the place is flying up. I think it sees me. Nope. So I just made this little bridge right here. And nether brick can actually be made by smelting netherrack. You'll get the like actual nether brick, which is pretty cool. And also, another rule about in the nether is you don't hit the zombie pigmen. They won't attack you unless you attack them. And it's not like just one will attack you. Any zombie pigmen in the area will attack. So when you do end up getting into the another fortress, they have these like really long corridors that you can go through. And these blazes are actually pretty vital to progressing through the game. So if you just shoot them, they drop these like yellow rods, and they are called blaze rods. And blaze rods are super useful for progressing through the game. And the way that they attack is by they shoot fireballs at you. You don't want to break the spawner unless you want to make some more blaze. You want to get some more blaze rods. And blaze rods do have a couple of crafting recipes. For example, if you take a blaze rod, just put one in the crafting interface or crafting table. It doesn't matter. You'll get this stuff called blaze powder. We'll talk about what that does when we get out of here. But blaze powder is super useful for progressing through the actual story of the game. Jeez, there's so much lava in the Nether. So again, they have these like long corridors. There's like a bunch of cool stuff in them. And also one weird thing is that they seem to be like broken. There's like some broken bits to it. So you might as well just connect them up with the stone. That's kind of the reason we brought it. And every once in a while you'll find these like staircases that go up to a whole nother level. It's basically just the same thing. They have like a bunch of long corridors. And there's actually another mob that is exclusive. Oh, there it is. That is a wither skeleton. They're basically just like skeletons, except instead of having a bow, they have swords instead. And they are, one weird thing is that they are actually only 2 blocks. They are 3 blocks high or 2.5 blocks tall. So once you get them to chase you, all you have to do is just make like this 2 high beam. Probably should have. I promise you, like, if you don't screw up like I just did, they will leave you alone. I'm gonna get these other 2. Alright, so just lead them over here. And they can't get you, so you can just kill them there. And that's pretty easy to do. And they can drop a couple of things. They drop some stone swords, which isn't too awesome. But they also drop bones and a weird thing, coal, too. But they also drop a really rare thing that is used for getting something known as a nether star. We aren't that advanced yet, so I'll talk about it when I do end up getting one. But even with the looting 3 sword, which is something that I have right now, it's like a 1 in 20% chance that you do end up getting one. However, there's an easier way to farm them. But again, we don't have the farm for that. Yeah, there's one more resource that we do need to find in this nether fortress. After that, we can leave. and talk about all the new crafting recipes that we can now make. Now, I don't wish it, but most likely at some point you have fallen and taken some damage and like, oh man, why didn't I bring a water bucket? Well, the Nether is supposed to be a hot environment, so the Nether will actually just evaporate the water and you will still take damage from said fall damage or lava or whatever. Just another reason why the Nether is just such a scary place. And also, beds, they will not work in the Nether. They'll actually do something really funny where they just like explode in your face. So yeah, don't sleep in the Nether. And there's also another thing I want to talk about. So I'm going to have to be prepping some videos for the next couple weeks because I'm going to South Carolina. My grandma just had surgery and I'm going to be there to support her. So I'm going to try to make as many videos as I can so I can like stagger them. I'm going to be trying my best to make one video a week. But I'm going to try my hardest to get out as many videos as I can. And we're back. So when a wither skeleton does end up hitting you, you get something known as the wither effect. It's basically like a slow poison effect. Oh god, I need to eat. And what it does, it also like blackens. Well, we took our first death of the world. So we're gonna have to go get our stuff back. And also a really bad thing is you only have like a certain amount of time for your items to end up despawning. So I'm going to have to get there pretty fast. And I'll see you guys in a sec. Oh, I'm so relieved that I finally found my stuff. And with that, I am out of here. I am tired. I'm already tired of the Nether. And this is your fault. So, whatever. I'm getting out of here. Oh, and another weird thing is that Nether fortresses do have loot chests. Cool. Which is awesome. Loot's usually pretty good. Oh, and here's the last resource that we need. So this is nether wart. And this is why we need the soul sand. Because you can replant this and get even more. So I'm actually going to collect this and then I'm going to get out of here. So a little change of plans, but you know, it's whatever. Alright. And I'll see you guys back in the overworld. And this is the actual resource that we need for the storage system that we're going to be building in the next episode. So this is glowstone. And glowstone actually has a really cool feature where it actually gives off a light level of 15, where torches only give off a light level of 12. Which means that it will spread towards 15 blocks before the light level is 0. Which is awesome, and I dropped it. So I'm gonna mine up a bunch of this because we're gonna need it for the storage system. And I'll see you guys in the overworld. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, the fire is still going, which proves that netherrack will infinitely stay on fire, which can be cool, good for like fireplaces and stuff like that. And yeah, now we're going back to the overworld. Now there is a slight chance that another portal will spawn somewhere weird, like not like it did right now, but it will spawn in like a completely different location. The Nether is kind of buggy, so yeah, it's just something that we have to deal with. But with that, we have gotten a whole bunch of resources that I am super excited to start using, but let's go over what we can do with them. So now that we are back inside from, it's kind of cold out there with it raining and stuff like that, we can do a little bit of crafting. So one thing that we got was the blaze rods, and what we can do with that is if we put a blaze rod in the crafting interface or crafting table, it doesn't matter where it is, you'll get blaze powder. I've already kind of talked about that. But also another thing that you can do is if you get yourself 3 pieces of stone, you can actually make something known as a brewing stand. And this is for making things like potions and stuff like that, which is why we need nether wart and the blaze powder. So that's useful to have. However, if you don't really want to go to nether, they will spawn in the churches inside of villages. Wandering trader. Wait, I'm actually gonna check to see if it has anything useful. Usually it doesn't. So what do you have today? Literally nothing. Alright, I'm gonna kill you and you and you. Go back to your colony. Alright, so what you can do with the blaze powder, nothing you can do with the blaze powder, if you take an ender pearl, which is dropped by killing endermen, if you combine that with the blaze powder, you'll get something known as an eye of ender. And what you can do with these is if you throw them, they will lead you towards something known as a stronghold. And that will basically get you to the end game of Minecraft. However, don't worry, the season's not coming to an end anytime soon. I still have a bunch of projects I would like to work on. So don't worry about that. Series isn't going anywhere. Another thing that we can do with the stuff that we got is if we take the soul sand and just place it. This isn't official, it's very temporary. You can actually plant the nether wart and that will grow, so we can harvest that again, and we can just keep replanting it like we do with the normal farm that we have out there. You don't need to plant it near water for it to grow any faster though. So that's something that you can take into consideration. And also with the glowstone, we are going to most likely use that as the lighting source in the storage system. But that's going to be in the next episode. So I'm just going to use that. And also, I have gotten our first wither skeleton skull, which is super exciting for us. Yay, us. And what you can do with this is, first off, it's just a decorative block. Hey, look at it! I'm just kidding. There are way more uses than just that. If you place it on some soul sand, you need to get 3 of them. So once you get 3 wither skeleton skulls, if you place them on top, if you place one on top of that one, on top of that piece of soul sand, on top of that one, you get something known as a wither, which is kind of like a mini boss fight. And it has a really good drop, but we only have 1 with the skeleton skull, so we can't exactly do much with it right now. So right now, it really is just a decorative block. So, oh, you can also wear it on your head. So that's, I'm gonna wear that for the rest of the episode. And to prove that you can actually get the nether bricks without actually finding the nether fortress, you get another brick, smelting the nether rack. You need 4 of it though, so it's right there. And also the red nether brick, you need 2 nether wart and 2 nether bricks. But yeah, if you want to do some building with some nether brick, it's way easier than just having to look for endless amounts of nether portals. But that's pretty much all I have for this episode. I still look completely ridiculous wearing with the skeleton skull, but this will be useful for the future. However, that's all the time I have for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Like this video if you enjoyed it. If you really loved it, subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I only have like 12 subscribers at the start of this video. Yeah, so your support means the world to me. If you guys are willing to subscribe, that would mean the world to me. So hopefully you guys have a good day. Take care. Bye for now.